See how this dirt has cracked and separated? That's a good sign there's clay in the soil. Hi, I'm Julie from Tiny Chick Pottery Studio. Today I'd like to show you how to make clay from dirt. Some jerk left some trash, so let's take it. It means it got wet, and then as it dried, it shrank. Toward the end of this video, I show projects made with unrefined and refined clay. Thoroughly mix some water into some dirt. The organic material is at the surface. If you have twigs and leaves and stuff, just pull that off the surface. We're gonna strain that off, and we're also gonna strain out the sand, and what's left will be clay water. You can use an old pillowcase to pour it through, and the water that comes out, you need something to catch it in. Let's come back in a few minutes and see if I can find something to catch the clay water in. There's usually some trash laying around. That didn't take long. The goal is to catch the water. So I'm going to stir it up. Again, stir up my slurry. Put the corner of this pillowcase into the can. That right there is mostly clay. Let's head back to the Tiny Chick Pottery Studio and I will show you how to make clay from dirt on a bigger scale. 5-gallon bucket, a regular strainer like you might use in the kitchen to strain your pasta, and then a very fine sieve. It's got very tiny holes here. Okay, first I'm gonna get my bucket clean before I get it dirty. Here's a loose pile of dirt I dug out of the trough to do some work. We want the organic material and the rock separated out. Do over. I think I can make my life easier. I'm skimming the floating material off the top because that's organic. Set this aside for a minute. We're going to take that pillowcase from earlier, stir it up, get those particles floating. Okay, there's a lot of sand in the bottom, so we're going to let those drift down while I keep it stirring. Okay, and now pour over. I see a lot of bits. There's a lot of organic stuff still in there. And I'm not going to pour it all the way out. See all that sand in the bottom? I'm washing my hands with muddy water. We'll let that drain and come back in a couple hours. This camera's amazing. You can see the clay water's really settling now. So let's pour some off and see what happens. Oops. There's clay down in the bottom, so we'll let it settle some more and pour off some more tomorrow. Hi, come on, let's go in the house. Good morning. I wanted to show you what happened overnight with the clay settling in the buckets. And I haven't had any coffee yet. The water at the top is very clear, but down the bottom you can see a lot of clay. Let's pour out the surface water. I'm tilting the bucket just far enough that the top water comes out and the clay stays down in the bottom. There's your clay. We had 2 buckets, remember this one? Tell there's still clay in the bottom of this one. Let's see what's in the bucket. We're gonna pour off the surface. Very slowly pour that water. Clay is heavier than water, but lighter than sand. That's why we had to go through a 2-step straining process. Bottom of the bucket is your clay. Let that dry out and you'll have workable clay to use. Now it's so wet that you just couldn't even form anything with it. The concept of making clay is a lot like making a pour-over coffee. You want to strain out the large particles at the top, letting all that brown liquid go into the bottom, and then when you drink your coffee, the bottom of the cup, there's a layer there. That's what you're looking for. That bottom layer, that's the clay. Don't drink your clay water, it's gross. Let's use this vase to show how clay sinks to the bottom of the water. While we're waiting, let's see what's in the bottom of this bag. Unrefined clay, which is great for building projects. We'll let that dry and come back to it. Man, I got it on my leg again. Unrefined clay such as this is great for use in projects like rocket stoves, building cob buildings, and pizza ovens, things like that. A couple of years ago, I built this pizza oven out of unrefined clay. Then I covered it in concrete, or whatever this stuff is, to keep the water from penetrating it and making it wash away. You gotta have a roof over your cob constructions. Here are 2 of the pieces of pottery that I made from refined clay that I dug up from the creek bed behind my house. Digging up clay from the creek bed is a much more efficient way to get clay than to try to extract it from soil. Now I tell you. It's been a couple of hours, and as you can see, the majority of the clay has drained down to the bottom and left mostly water up here. If we wait longer, this will turn completely clear and you'll just have clay at the bottom. Give it a lot of surface area to help it dry out quicker. It's been a couple of hours and the clay has firmed up quite a bit. You can now touch it without getting any on your hands. Potters will make an arch out of their clay in order to dry it out. They'll come back later and it will be the right consistency. Consider subscribing to Tiny Chick Pottery Studio. If you like this video, which I hope you did, please consider subscribing to Tiny Chick Pottery Studio. Gosh, that was hard to say. Tiny Chick Pottery Studio. Did I say that right? In upcoming videos, I will show you my 80 square foot studio space, how to make things out of clay, how to throw pottery on the wheel, glazing techniques. Did I say glazing techniques? For a shout out in one of my upcoming videos, please make a request in the comments section. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.